Today we're going to be discussing the motivated sequence. The motivated sequence is how we will be arranging our third speech or our persuasive speeches, and the goal is to motivate the audience to some sort of action. The motivated sequence changes the recipe that we used for the informative speeches just slightly, and I'm going to walk you through those changes today. First off, the motivated sequence was developed by Alan Monroe, who was a professor at Purdue University, and he developed the sequence many years ago as he studied psychology and ways that we can persuade people and get them to take action. He recognized that there were 5 steps to the sequence, and you can see the 5 steps listed here: attention, need, satisfaction, visualization, and action. Today what we'll do is we'll walk through each one of these steps to be able to fully understand how we can create persuasion in our audience. The first step that Monroe discovered was attention. And we already know this from the speeches that we've given, that you must grab the audience's attention. And that's the first thing that we'll do in our speeches, which isn't a change from the informative speeches. The other parts to the introduction you should already know. Give the audience a reason to listen, establish credibility, state central idea, preview the main points. And you'll notice here, problem, solution, and then we'll discuss benefits or consequences. And those are the other parts to the sequence that are going to become our main points.
Ladies, if you value your complexion, watch the hidden dirt test.
After we've grabbed the audience's attention, we then must create some sort of a need in the audience so that they feel like they need to listen to us and they understand that there is a problem. And that's what our first point is going to be doing, showing a problem to create that need in the audience. Some things we need to do in this step. There should be no good news given. Everything in this first point should be negative, showing that there truly is a problem. It should be the doomsday scenario. If we don't change, this is what's going to happen. You should relate to the audience's motivations and figure out what's going to motivate the audience. Are they motivated by family? Are they motivated by money, a desire for love? And all audiences have different motivations. And you want to be able to relate to that as you demonstrate that there is a problem. You want to make the audience feel guilty or uncomfortable. And you'll do that as you prove there's a problem. Ways to prove a problem: show us statistics and show us evidence that things are negative. For example, if we're talking about global warming, I want to give you the scenario of what's currently going on, show you that the temperatures are changing, that we're polluting our oceans and the earth, and that what we're doing is really destroying the earth for future generations. And that way, as I demonstrate the problem with statistics and evidence, I start to show, okay, there's a need here. Let's watch how this would work from our 1950s commercial.
This woman cleansed her face the ordinary casual way with just any soap or cold cream. Now I rub her face with a cotton pad. See how much hidden dirt and makeup are left behind? Look.
This brings us to the second main point, which Monroe called satisfaction. After we prove that there's a problem to the audience, we create this need in them. And it would be pretty mean of us to leave the audience in that sort of a state. So then our second point shows us, okay, well, here's a solution. Some things we want to do. We want to give the audience a step-by-step plan so they know exactly what they can do to solve the problem. We want to give them a specific action. Do this, or if you're taking an opposite approach, don't do this. As a speaker, you should already be doing this, setting a good example for us. If we take the example of global warming, we want to give the audience the specifics. Start recycling. This is where, this is how, this is when. We should buy hybrid cars. I bought a hybrid car not too long ago. And so you could demonstrate that as a speaker, that you're already starting to take place and take action. But if I ask you to do something that's really challenging, for instance, from now on I want you to walk, I never want you to drive, and then you see me driving by in a great big old Hummer waving at you as you're walking everywhere, I'm not being a good example as a speaker. I'm being very hypocritical. So that's why you want to make sure as a speaker that you're already doing this and that the solution is very simple for us. Some simple solutions that you can consider: a petition or a sign-up sheet. But there are lots of just easy solutions we can do. And if you can pinpoint an immediate, easy solution that the audience can start doing today, your chances of really motivating us are going to go way up. So immediate solutions, look for something that we can do in the next 6 months or so. Costco is actually really good at this. When you go there to get the free samples, they do the tasting there so that you'll want to buy it today. And you can do that same thing in our speech. Get us started today so that we'll continue this action.
Massage your face with gentle palm olive for 60 seconds, rinse and pat dry. Now try the test again. Watch. No hidden dirt. Your face is palm olive clean, deep down clean.
This then brings me to the third main point of Monroe's sequence and the third point of our speech, which is visualization. We've created a problem. We've created the solution for the audience. Now we need to help them visualize the benefits and the consequences. Help the audience visualize the results. Help them to see and have a vivid picture of what things are going to look like if they start taking part in what you've asked them to do. So if it's recycling, show us what the end results of our recycling efforts are going to look like. Keep it positive. If you adopt my plan, this is what's going to happen. Make it very clear for the audience this is a great place to use visual aids. And the other thing we want to do in this step is satisfy any objections that people may have. If I wanted to convince you to get a flu vaccine, what would be some common objections? Some people would say, well, I don't like needles. And this would be a perfect example to say, perhaps you're thinking, I don't like needles, I'm not going to get the flu vaccine. But the good news is you can also get a nasal spray, so you don't have to have a needle used on you. And so that is one way you could satisfy objections. But you want to make sure that you're doing that for your audience. Point out any consequences. If you don't do my plan, this is what's going to happen. If you don't start recycling, this is the negative.
This woman washed her face the palm olive way. Watch. No hidden dirt. The pad is snowy white. Proof her face is palm olive clean, deep down clean. Yes, the palm olive way removes hidden clinging dirt ordinary cleansing misses. Dirt that robs your complexion of beauty. You can have a cleaner, fresher complexion the very first time you use palm olive. Doctors have proved it. Prove it yourself.
This then brings us to the very last step of the motivated sequence, which is the action step. Or in our speeches, it's going to be part of the conclusion. So you already know the parts to the conclusion. We signal the end. We recap our main points. And then lastly, we want to call the audience to action. And this is our last chance to leave them with an impression that's going to get them moving and doing what we want them to do. So perhaps you would want to say, I challenge you to join with me today and start recycling. Or perhaps you would want to plead with them, please start recycling today. And that would be the end of your speech. Let's see how this works in our 1950s commercial.
Get mild, gentle palm olive soap for a cleaner, fresher complexion today.
So what we've done is we've gone through each step of the motivated sequence, and hopefully this allows you to start creating how you're going to do your speech. Think of the three parts. First, here's a problem, and that's going to be your first point. Second, here's the solution, the how, the where, the when. And then third, the benefits and consequences, and help the audience visualize that.